Okay. I
There we
have
go.
been moving all day. I am back at work um, with my 71 sixth graders. So I've been online with my students all day. I am sorry I came in a tad bit late. So I really don't know what the topic is. So can you bring me up
What
to speed?
question? What question you got? What's on your plate? Let me take a look at my
Okay.
notes.
So dealing with the church or school? I mean, or just in general?
If you got both, let's do church first. If not,
Okay,
what's
church.
on your
I
plate?
prefer. Look, I don't want to talk about school anymore. 3:30 is come and gone. I promise you, I don't want to see them anymore. Today is my day off. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so I've been working with OBS, and I attached the re. What is it? I had it on my phone. I wanted to broadcast both Facebook and YouTube both at the same time. You guys
Mm-hmm.
recommended a soft recommended software for me. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to get the software going, and believe it or not, on OBS, I am able to set up a source, and I can bring my source in and out really nicely. My biggest issue still is getting that Canon camera to really marry my computer. So you gave me some information as far as purchasing a inexpensive i5 computer. So that's where my next step is. But until I get that, I have to get my Canon camera to marry this computer. And then I wanted to use as a second device my iPad mini on this computer, which is not a Apple. It's a it's just a regular computer, a Dell. And so I'm trying to get both the Dell and the Canon to work with this computer, and I am having the dickens of a time.
Okay. So you were using the Canon software capture, right? I
Yes.
can't remember what it's called. Canon Utility.
Yes, the Utility 3.
Okay. I would
Mm-hmm. The base.
imagine
That's
any
what it
issues we're having with that marriage of the Canon getting into the computer and getting solid. I imagine it's because we're using a lot of computer resources on that utility instead of a capture card.
is. Okay.
Um, a capture card is going to be a lot cheaper than a new computer. Uh,
But I still need the new computer
you
anyway.
still need the new computer, right? I
I still
understand.
need
We
the
and
new
we
computer.
walked you through how to find a
Mhm.
refurb one on Best Buy. Any progress on that?
Not yet. Since I've been back at school, I kind of like this is my second job, and so I have to, I'm going slower with this than I was during the summer when I had more
Gotcha.
time. So Saturday is my best day to, unfortunately, work on my church work,
Okay.
and I have to be ready for Sunday to broadcast. So I'm still trying to find a day during the week to work on everything,
Okay.
so I can get everything working.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So you're having issues with OBS, but you're streaming to the camera inside of OBS and getting things solidified, right?
Right.
But you're streaming to Restream,
Right.
and that which is multicasting to Facebook and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, and then maybe Chris can tell you something. But here's what I would do. I would test Restream's streaming service. They have a built-in studio that will take your camera feed and it will broadcast it out to the platforms. We did a review of it on the YouTube, and I can give you the link.
All right.
OBS is going to be great if you are doing overlays, transitions, multicam, picture in picture, all that good stuff. If you're just streaming the service as is, if you're just planting a camera and streaming it, you can skip a middleman in OBS and just go straight into Restream Studio. Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I have seen it. Matter of fact, I tried to do a test run, and believe it or not, I got it to work. I was able to, for a second, I was able to get the OBS to work with the restreaming, and I had a small video. I'm glad it wasn't anything live, but I did get it to work, and it worked one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I did to get it to work.
Right.
I don't know how to backtrack my steps to
Right.
see what I did to get it to where it was.
See, what I'm talking about is not even using OBS. you would
Right, I
go
understand you.
straight into the Restream studio.
Mhm.
Is that what you tried?
I did it through
Okay.
OBS and Restream.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Because
And but go
you
ahead.
can use OBS, and I don't know all the settings, and maybe Chris can walk you through the settings. But you can go live straight from Restream, so you can just skip
Right.
OBS and not even have to use it or launch it. For the meantime, I would give that a shot. Now I know this is going to be different styles because Dave would try to make OBS work. I'm going to say OBS is the one giving me the issues. How can I cut it out of my life? And Chris can help you with that. But that's my recommendation: is if you got to get it going right now,
Mhm.
and I would just see if I'm not even saying OBS is the problem, but I would see if going live within Restream Studio. Go to restream.io. It's the second button on the top
Right.
whatever. Go to the studio, see if it'll recognize your camera, and then do a test from there. It could be more stable. It could be less stable. The picture quality might not look as good because you don't have as fine tuned of stuff. But if I'm using a less powerful computer, I'm gonna let the browser do all that work, and not
Okay.
my computer. Um, that's my thoughts. Chris, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good option first. I mean, you're still using computer power because it's a browser and it uses RAM. Um, so I mean, it's one of those darn if you do, darn if you don't type of
Yeah.
situations. But if you can at least get it going on Restream.io first, then you're not trying to do. We know that it's working. Um, I think what's happening right now to me, it sounds like, is you're trying too many layers, and we need to scale back and at least start with
Get one
Stream.io,
at a
get that
time.
going, and get one at a time, yeah, and then add OBS, or maybe wait until you get a new computer to add OBS.
Okay.
Um, because on top of that, if you're having the browser open at the same time as OBS, there could also be some issues there too that's going on with utilizing resources. Typically, in a situation on that, especially on a low power computer, heck, I even do it on a powerful computer. I do it on this computer myself. I actually have, when I do my Twitch streaming uh, on Tuesdays and Fridays, I actually monitor the stream on a separate computer, so I'm not utilizing those same resources on the stream computer. So maybe doing something like that could be an option if you want to try bringing in OBS and get that going with Restream. But I would try to eliminate some layers and say, let's try Restream, do a test stream, see if that works. Okay, great. Then let's go to OBS, try to do a test stream from that and see how that goes, and just layer it on so you can see where the problem's coming from.
Let me ask one more question, Annette. Are you live streaming Sunday service, or is it something else?
It's Sunday service, yes.
Sunday service. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, does it have to be live?
Yes, at this point we want it live. At one point we were doing video and then um, presenting it at a later date. But since we've gone back inside the church, everything is live because all of our parishioners are not at church and
Gotcha.
they want to see the service.
Gotcha. Okay. 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 Dave, any other thoughts? She's still having some issues with her lower end computer. She's running the Canon utility instead of a capture card into OBS. She got to work once, but isn't able to get it working again.
So, give me the specs of the computer, would you?
Give me a second.
In fact, if you want to share your screen, we can look at it together. If you don't mind.
I have other stuff up, so let me give
Oh,
me.
okay. Yeah, put the bank account away. Put the, you know,
Put the
put
YouTube
your,
away.
No.
put your off-track betting away.
All you're gonna see is a bunch of sixth grade science stuff.
Oh, I love
No,
sixth
you
grade
don't
science
want to
stuff.
see that, okay?
That's okay. I can dig that.
Let me try to get rid of all of these screens.
That's fine.
Okay. Share my screen. Computer with sound. Now let's find what we need to be.
All right, cool.
System.
All right, let's do something real quick, okay?
Uh-huh.
Can you just go back to the desktop?
Okay. Let me get this down. Okay.
And just minimize that. There you go. All right. So down at the bottom where you have the little yellow folder, click on that. Please. Yeah,
Perfect.
File Explorer. So click over there to that. There you go. Now over.
I'm sorry. That's the yellow folder.
Yes, right there. There you go. All right. So see in the left-hand side where it says this PC. Would you right-click on that? Down. Right there. Up. This PC. Right-click on that and go to Properties. Okay, so let me look at this. Okay, so you're using an AMD Ryzen 3, and you have 8 gigs. Okay, so the Ryzen 3 is similar to an Intel i3, okay, which is basically, what, 10 years ago they were called Core 2 Duos, okay? They're
Basically, yeah.
It's basically the Core 2 Duo, for lack of a better term. So it only has it has like 1 or 2 cores. It was gonna have 2 cores, and it's gonna have what, 2 threads? Chris, is that right?
I'm looking it up right now. I know it's not that much.
So yeah, so
Ryzen.
it is a great processor for being a entry level gaming processor. So you could run Fortnite on there and get some decent performance and stuff. Okay, so that's
2 cores, 4 threads.
Yeah, 4 threads, 2 cores. Okay, so it is when it comes to live streaming, it's less than an i5, and we recommend an i7 or above. Okay. So if you're going to be doing live streaming on here, we need to keep the live stream really simple, and we need to do standard def and not high def, okay? Do you have a sec? Can we jump into OBS and make a few settings adjustments? So let's go ahead and close out of this, and you can close out of the Explorer there. By the way, when you are live streaming from this machine, everything needs to be closed except
it is.
Except just a couple of browser tabs and OBS, okay? So let's open up OBS and let's take a look. And I'm going to open it up on mine.
Chris said you were going to do this. I mean, Jessica said you were going to do this.
Okay. And I appreciate y'all's patience, by the way. My wife has been sick, and I needed to... basically I was just rubbing her back because she's been laying down and really sore and all that junk. So thank y'all for your patience and letting me minister to her. Okay, so let us go real quick. I just want to look at your scenes real quick. I know we don't have anything plugged in, but let's just go to
I have some scenes. I was able to get this scene, and I was able to get this scene in, and
okay, good.
I can get this. This is the camera.
Right.
But I can't get it to marry with the computer. It's like every now and again it will work.
Yeah.
Some days it will, some days it won't.
Okay. And did you also have like the
real quick question? You don't. Oh, sorry, Dave. I was going to ask. You don't have any other USB devices connected when you're trying to stream, right?
Okay.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure because being a low power computer, the power wattage is not that great. So if you have multiple USB devices going, it could be causing that problem.
Right.
Just wanted to make sure that was eliminated.
So let's optimize OBS first real quick. If you would please click where it says profile in the menu.
At the top.
Mhm. And let's rename this one. And we're going to call it original setup. And hit OK. Great. Okay, and now go to profile and type choose new. And we're going to call this optimize setup.
I'm sorry, it is at the 8 o'clock and I don't think at the 8. I'm gonna call it setup.
No problem. Okay, now, and just click on profile real quick. Let's make sure that's the one we're using. Okay, good. So that's, I just want to make sure we're using setup. So now we'll make changes and it'll only be to that one. Okay, so let's click on the settings button.
Okay, down at the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm even learning where all of these buttons are.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the stream setup real quick. Just take a look at that.
That's Twitch. It should say that's what I've been working on.
That's fine. So you can connect that later. Okay, for right now.
I've done that already, so that's already. It should be already connected.
With the new setup, with the new thing, you may have to reconnect it. But for right now, we don't need to worry about it. We're not actually going to test. We're just going to go take a look at some settings and kind of tweak them out and see if they work better for you next time. Okay.
Okay.
But you always have the original one that you can go back to. So if you would click on the output tab.
Output. Let me see.
Actually, tell you what. Before we even do that, go down to the video one. Let's look at that real quick. We'll start there. Okay.
Oh, wow. Those numbers have definitely changed.
Okay, so let's do this. For the base canvas, we're going to do standard def. So I would like for you, please, to set it to 640 by 360.
So I can change these. I literally type in there.
You should be able to type in there. Yes, ma'am. You should be able to. There you go. 640 by 360 x 360.
Okay.
Okay, now the output scaled, I want you to make that one 640 by 360.
All right.
Okay, now let's go over to the output tab. And see where it says encoder? Just click that down. And is there anything else? Hardware AMD, let's choose that. We'll see if that helps us.
By the way, it's her CPU is a system on a chip. It's an APU, so it's CPU and GPU combined.
Oh, okay. All right, so click where it says to enable advanced encoder settings.
Enable advanced.
That check mark, yeah, right there. Let's look under there, encoder preset. I'll tell you what, we're going to go a little deeper. Up at the top where it says output mode, would you click on that and choose advanced? Okay, so for streaming, for our rate controlled, blah, 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 you do have a good connection?
Yes.
Okay,
the connection is fine.
Okay, good. So for the CPU preset, click that down. Right now it says very fast. Click that down. And let's try super fast. Okay, that will do less processing and take up less CPU. And go over to the recording tab. Are you trying to record when you are streaming at the same time?
The camera automatically records.
Okay.
So I don't have to record because it does it automatically.
Okay.
And
Okay,
it depends on which device I use. If it's the camera or the tablet, it automatically records it. I don't tell it to record.
Okay, that's fine. You see where it says recording format?
The format, yes.
Okay, drop that down and let's just choose MP4. And and you see how the encoder says use the stream encoder?
Mhm.
What that means is whatever the stream bit rate is, which was 25, that's what the recording is going to be. So basically, it's only going to do one encoding session, and as it's pushing it out, it'll also be writing it. Now, this is writing it to the hard drive, okay? This is if you want to record and stream at the same time. We're optimizing so that it's as light as possible, okay?
Okay.
So we can go back over to the streaming tab. Oh, I'm sorry, on output up at the top, go back to output. There we go. And the first one streaming, yeah. All right, so X.264, which is good. Let's see. And CBR and 25, super fast. Okay, so we should be pretty good there. Can we go, let's see. Click on the audio tab off to the right a little bit. There you go. For that audio bit rate, just set that to 128. That's CD quality. Just going to kind of lighten that load just a little bit as well. Okay, and then you can hit OK. Now it's going to rescale. Okay, so now for each of your scenes, for example, in this scene right here in your preview window, if you just right click in the middle of it there and go to resize, or I'm sorry, scale filtering, where to go? Where to transform? There it is. Down farther. There you go. And choose fit to screen. There you go. And you'll want to take a look at your other scenes as well and just make sure that they're not blown up, because, you know, we had them set for much high, like that one. We had that set for much higher. On that, you should, let's see. Tell you what, click in the source window where it says ways to give. Oh, there you are. You found it. Awesome.
Now this one, believe it or not, this one is the size that I want it to be, but I kind of like want it to stay on the screen. I want it to stay at all times. I want to be able to move it even if I'm videoing.
Yeah, no problem. So let's do this. Off to the in the source window where it says church icon.
Church,
So you got the scene church crest, but the source for it is the church icon, right?
Okay.
So right click on that and choose copy. Okay, and then let's go to scene 3 because that's where the camera is. Okay, and then go back to the sources and then right click in there and do paste reference. Just do paste reference. There you go. Now you can size that according however you need it to be. There you go. And
I was playing with that.
I'm curious. Let's try something. Let's try something real quick. Right click on where it says church icon in the sources. We're going to fly by the seat of our pants for a sec. Go to filters.
Copy filters. Okay. Is that what you want?
And click the little plus sign in the bottom corner. And I am looking for, let's try color key. And just hit OK. All right. And where it says key color type, drop that down and choose custom color. And then where it says color, or hit where it says select color and choose white. and then hit OK. And for smoothness, increase that smoothness up some. Let's see if we can get that white line around it to go away. Getting there, getting there. Okay, let's do this. Okay, hang on, hang on. For similarity, bring that up some more. Getting better, getting better. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now, for opacity, why don't you bring that down to about 50%? There you go. And then hit close. There you go. So now you got the logo up there, but
Okay.
it's not overpowering.
Right.
So you should be able to copy that where it says for sources, church icon. Copy that, and then go to your other ones, your other scenes, and then you can paste the reference.
And so this one, I'm still working on getting this information in.
No,
so.
no problem. But just make sure that in each one that this one is at like the very top layer. And the way they are, yeah, paste reference. There you go. And
Okay, make sure this is the top layer.
yeah, so when you look at the sources, the way they're ordered is stacking from as close to you going back. So that one's on the top. Underneath it would be church info. If you put another camera source or a graphic, you'd want it to be beneath church icon so that the icon sits on top of the graphic versus the graphic sitting on top of the icon.
So if I wanted to put scene 3 over here, scene 3 over here, could I do that also?
You could take scene 3 and add it to another scene if you wanted to.
Okay. But it's already on scene 3 because you see the
Right. You're
the
good.
camera.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, exactly.
Okay. Look, I don't want to take up all of you guys' time because I am one of those cases that need a lot of help. I tell people all of the time, I am new to this and I am by myself. So, you know,
that's what we're here for. Hey, why don't you go ahead and exit? Why don't you go ahead and exit out of the studio? The next time you bring it up, it'll be using this optimized the optimized profile until you change to the other profile. And then let's go back to the meeting and you can unshare your screen.
Thank you guys for being patient with me.
Of course.
Needing control.
There you go. Ooh, hang.
No,
Justin, can you go ahead and unshare her screen? I think you can do it.
Yep, let's try.
Oh, there it is at the top. Stop sharing.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. We'll hit Joe, and then we'll come back to Vicky.
Okay, just a sec. You want to stop the recording?